What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here, Haven Real Estate Group at EXP Realty. K-State grad, turned contractor, turned real estate agent and investor. Let's go and jump right into it. I wanted to jump on and just talk to everything that's been happening lately, right? So it's 2024. Mortgage rates are sky high. 8% is the height that we've seen. And I want to talk to you about what happens when they go down or when they go up. Who knows, right? Nobody really knows. So everything moving forward in this video, I wanted to talk to you is just a prediction. I'm not a mind reader. I'm not anything else in between this, but I want to talk to you briefly about what happens when these mortgage rates change. Okay, so let's talk right now. As of today, when I'm recording this video, there are 75 houses on the market. I get asked this question all the time. Everyone's like, Kyle, what's going to be happening with the mortgage rates? What's going to happen with the real estate market? Blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing, guys. Number one, I don't really know. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. I wouldn't work as hard as I do. Number two is this. Let's say that they go up. If you bought a house now and you're good with it, well, then you're good. You look great, right? Mortgage rates go up, your price of to buy a house goes up, meaning your payments and things like that. Things go down. Let's say that you compete into it. Like for me right now, I'm diving deep into the fact of buy. I want the rates to stay at 8% because if I can make my investments and make my payments work at 8%, what do you think I'm going to do when they drop to 5% or 6%? I'm going to be a hell of a lot happier when that happens because I've got the asset, I've got the house, I've got everything that goes with it. And now I just refinance it and I change my payment, right? That's the beauty of it. Okay, so, and that's what I talk to my buyers about all the time is this. Don't be house poor. Because I don't want to see you get into a position where you are absolutely hurting to make your house payment and absolutely hurting to get things taken care of. So don't be house poor, right? If you have a $2,000 payment and you only make $1,500 a month, well, that's house poor. You don't want to be that way. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that come into that, right? But I want to prepare you as a buyer. I want to make sure that you are prepared as best that you possibly can to make sure that you are making the best decision for you. So paying attention to that. Now, again, let's talk about it, right? So we're at 8% sitting today. Again, there's 75 houses on the market. What's happening with that is that those buyers that are sitting on the sidelines saying, I'm waiting for rates to drop, I'm waiting for rates to drop. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but the days of 2.5%, 2.75% interest rates, I'm sorry, but I think those days are past us. I don't think we'll see those again for a very, very long time. And I will tell you that when those days, if those days do come back, what do you think is going to happen? It's not going to be just you jumping back in the market. There's going to be thousands and thousands of other buyers jumping back in the market again. What you don't understand is that those buyers that don't own, you're going to have them to contend with, as well as the sellers of people selling their house and looking to buy up again, right? So here's the thing. Get into a house, get into something that makes sense today. And if you love that house and if you haven't outgrown it by the time interest rates change, you refinance. That's the neat part of what we have here is that just because it's a 30-year fix doesn't mean that you are locked in for 30 years. 6 months. I actually owned my house for 6 months before my rates dropped and I refinanced that puppy. And I called up my lender. I was like, hey, I want out of this. I want to take advantage of these rates. Sure, no problem. Refinance it cost me maybe $1,500, $2,000. And I got my payment. I dropped my payment by $100 a month, and I dropped 5 years off my life of my loan. So I changed it from a 30-year note to a 25-year loan, and I dropped my payment. How fantastic is that, right? So that's the cool part of what you have the ability to do is you're not locked into it. Even though it is a 30-year note, you're not locked in for 30 years. You can always refinance and change those things later. Now, let's talk about it, right? So let's say you go and you buy something at an 8%. You're like, oh, I'm going to bite the bullet, buy it at 8%. Great. Here's the thing. If you buy the house and you're okay with that payment and you're not stretching yourself and stretching your family, go buy that house. Go do that work and actually do that because if the rates go up, you look like a hero, right? The rates go up to 9%, 10%. Not saying they couldn't do that, not saying they will do that. But if they do go up, you're still good. Right? If they go down, you look like a damn a hero, right? You look like a Superman at that rate because you're able to refinance. You got the house you wanted. You're able to refinance and go that way. So the funny part about this too is everyone's waiting for the rates to drop. When those rates do drop, you're going to have a flood of buyers, a flood of sellers, and a flood of all that stuff. So you're competing with all of those people. So now we're looking at 2020, 2021, early 22 numbers where you're getting 5 offers on one house. Where I can tell you today, I literally just did this where I got $20,000 off of either prepaids and closing costs or fixes on a house. And the seller was happy to do it because they had an opportunity that they were able to get the house sold because they're selling their home and need out of it at this point in time. So sellers right now, as I'm recording this, sellers are more negotiable. Sellers are ready to go. And that's the thing, is that when those rates drop and more buyers come in, that's the supply and demand game. Right? So be ready for that kind of stuff. And that's the one thing I wanted to jump in here and record to you, is just kind of talk through that, right? And I really implore you to talk to a real estate agent. Again, if it's me, excellent. I'd love to talk with you. But if it's not, talk to a professional, talk to somebody who's doing this day in, day out, and really focusing on making these opportunities for their clients, right? And again, I would love to talk with you, or if you have questions, put in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you as well. If you do enjoy this content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future content. Give us that like because it does help us grow the channel. As always, if you have questions for me, my phone number is 785-477-5485. My email is kyle@homesforsalemhk.com. Again, I just wanted to jump on here, record this real quick, talk a little bit about interest rates and what that looks like and what that means for you as a buyer and what that could actually be and why it could be a good thing for you, right? So go and reach out to me. Love to hear from you. I hope you do enjoy this content. Again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.